Alright guys, hopefully y'all can hear me. We just did our first delivery of the day, lunchtime. So we want to try to get a couple of more before I actually have lunch. And we charge up and we prepare for the dinner time. Oh man, lots of ideas going through my head right now, so I'm trying to back face the camera since it's more high def, but I need to clean it's in the case right now, so I've been looking at some of the other Vlogtobers that I'm all like, but I don't want to take it out of the case because it's like, it has rarely been out of the case other than like some recordings at home. Very heavily looked after and held with extreme care. And I don't want to do that while driving. The last thing I need is to be sitting up there and it not be in the case. And I've dropped this phone several times and thank goodness it's been in the case. So October 4th, guys, Vlogtober day 4. I need to edit 3 and put it out. Alright guys, it's about a little after 6:30. Just finished 2 orders. That was a total of, I don't know, it's probably like 5 miles, but there's so much random stuff on the way. Like running into a bush thing that scratched me up. It's I say it all the time. It's interesting. It's interesting. I'm just trying to find a balance in all this. Sometimes I think to myself, like, you're working way too hard for not close of a return. Sometimes I ask myself, like, why don't you just get a regular job? Here's what's interesting. Had a regular job, pretty decent as well. I would make about close to 500 for working 4 days, 10-hour shifts. It would be 600 if I work. It'll be over 600 if I worked 5 days. Now, because I didn't have the freedom, because, I remind you, first full-time job in over 5 years, working for myself, and after about 8 weeks, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Nothing wrong with the job per se. The people were cool. Everything was super chill. Other than like the work itself, but it's work, I'm not trying to stay there forever. And I set myself a goal. Technically, right now, I shouldn't be doing any type of work. If I had handled if I finished out my goal, I wouldn't be in this predicament. But I didn't, and the multiple times that I had to, course correct, I didn't. And now instead of guaranteed income that, you know, I had set, I am now scraping by doing the most. And for maybe even a third of what I was making. Now, luckily, I'm not so far behind that I can't course correct. There are several things that I have. It's all just one of those things where it's all like, only if I would have thought of this a week prior. I didn't. It seems to be my go-to thing is to think of stuff after the fact, and it's ridiculous, guys. I'm trying to be better. I really am. I'm tired of trying to bust my, like, it's crazy because it's all like, I do the Ubers, and the majority of the weeks, I did an average. I calculated all the weeks that I worked and what I made. And on average, a week, it's just a little over $200 on average. So the majority of the time, you know, I could count on making $200. But what I have to do in order to get that $200, like, I really haven't had a day off in a minute, y'all. And despite all that, I don't have anything to show for it because I've tried to do Uber and I can't find an area to where I could get a guarantee. You know, I struggle to get 10 a day, 12 a day. And we're talking all day, guys. We're talking all day. I be having the app on all day. Ready to take Ubers. And yeah, I can't do it with just Ubers. And I know that. And, you know, I've taken steps, but like I said, you know, I wish this was a week earlier and I really wouldn't feel the way I do, but you know, I'm not blaming anybody. It is my fault. You know, I'm just trying to stop doing these patterns or stop, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with believing in yourself and trying to make things happen, but at some point you gotta be realistic. Like, guys, when I say on average, majority of the time it's about 200 per week. And I be sitting up here trying to be making goals of $400 or $500, and it's just like, but Kevin, on average, that's not what you're getting. And I be trying to put everything into that, and it's not working. You know, last few weekends have been with a combination of me being out for part of the weekend to get my bike taken care of. So I was out for all of Friday, basically, for the first part of Saturday, and even the week prior. Like, it's been crazy, y'all. And what's crazy is, like, either the week prior or the week prior to that, I'd made, like, dang near close to 500. And I don't know, guys.
Being ready for the return to fall. Maybe I should be asleep, but these full moon vibes got me in the deep. Emotional roller coaster strapped in my seat, ready for a trip to find what I seek. Passing through the galaxy into my office, translating thoughts into deep science. Got the sun in my pocket. solo, it's a boss. At the heart